All right, y'all. So today is a very intentional video. This video is speaking specifically to that person that has been hearing God a lot, but in this season, you feel like you ain't really hearing God like that. I'm gonna bring up a couple things to consider, right? So first, you gotta like guard your mind and watch your spiritual intake. Now, what I might mean by that, it's like this. I took some notes, so I'm looking down. All right. So if you're in a place where you're not hearing God, you have to ask yourself, like, what are you filling your spirit with? Because every time I got into that place, I realized that it was priorities that I put in front of God. And like, let's say if I was reading the word, I don't know, like started off reading the word before I did anything throughout that day, I noticed slowly I would start putting other things before God, in those different areas. Another thing is, reading the word, like how you got to really ask yourself, how much time are you spending with God? How much time are you actually reading the word? Because like I said before, whenever I would find myself in those situations, my prayer time and my hour and in my Bible time, like Bible studying time, went from like an hour prayer time, an hour Bible study time before I did anything else, and then it'll like drastically decrease. And then I wonder why is God not hearing me? Like a lot of times when we feel like God goes silent, he's causing us to go deeper, right? So that means increased prayer time, increased Bible reading. And whenever you're doing that, not just like pray and then that's it. Pray and then remain in a place of silence for a minute and see what God put in your spirit. You know what I'm saying? That is key, because we live in this lifestyle, and we get accustomed to doing things a certain kind of way, and we be thinking, okay, God don't move, but a lot of times God is shifting things, so like what worked in the last season isn't going to work in this season, so we have to do things a little bit different. This is caused us to go deeper in God to get a greater revelation, greater discernment on where God is calling us to go. So that's another thing, right? This is some good stuff, right? So the next thing, and this is real important, influence. Who are you hanging around? A lot of times if the enemy can't get you and cause you to like sin, he would bring distractions around you, and that distractions may come with like, I don't know, like I said before, stuff like scrolling on social media a lot, and like, let's say it'll gravitate you towards things that is not edifying to your spirit. Things that you watch on TV is not edifying to your spirit. And a lot of that, like, we have to really rid ourselves from this stuff and really keep our mind on the things above, whether it's reading the word, whether it's, listening to, I don't know, people talk about God. Listen to things that's basically going to edify your spirit and help you on your walk and your journey with God, right? Another thing is, when I said influence, I mean people you have around you too. It's a saying where people used to say, and they probably still say it, where like, if you want to know somebody's character, look at the 5 people around them. Well, I mean influence in the sense of like, who do you have around you, man? And the people around you, are they Christ-minded people? Are they Christians? Are they God-fearing people? Or are they just people in the world? And if majority of your friends is worldly people, then you got to reevaluate some things, because it's like, man, what about me is attracting everybody around me that's not really Christians, not really people that's trying to grow with God. And the thing is, sometimes, God can bring non-believers to you so that you can show them the light. So you got to be discerning in that, right? So it's 2-part. But the people that's around you is gonna, you're either gonna influence them or they're gonna influence you. And 9 times out of 10, it's usually the people around you are influencing you to go away from God, right? Whether it's distractions, clubs, partying, just whatever it is, that's distractions that's not profitable with your walk. The last thing is hunger level. Okay, how hungry are you? Every time I was in a low place, it was a hunger. Like I was like, God, like I need to be set free from this. Like I don't care about nothing else. Where's your hunger? Like, you want to hear from God, but what are you willing to do to hear from God? Are you willing to just go in a room and sit in silence for a while and just say, hey, nothing else matters right now. I need to hear direction where I need to go. Where is your hunger level? So you got to reevaluate that too, man. The best thing is fasting. Fasting is really gonna put you back into place. Like anytime anybody ever sinned, that means that at that point in time their flesh was higher and more powerful and stronger at that particular time than their spirit. And the only way to weaken that flesh is to fast. Die to self daily. Okay, so fasting, and when you fasting, don't just not eat. You gotta fast, but and the type of fasting don't really matter. It's the sacrifice behind it, right? You have Daniel's fast. Daniel fasted a different kind of way than other people in the Bible fasted. Jesus did a total fast. You know what I'm saying? So the fasting, don't be so technical when it comes to fasting. It's about the sacrifice. I'm sacrificing not doing what my flesh wants to do so that my spirit man could be stronger. And when you're fasting, then how much time are you spending with God? Are you like strengthening your spirit, and are you getting edified? Because that's whenever God sees that sacrifice, and that's whenever things literally change. Like look at the story with Daniel when Daniel was fasting, right? Daniel 10:12. This is when the angel came. I'm gonna read it to you so you can see what I'm saying. It says, "Then he said unto me, Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that you did set your heart to understand, and you chasten yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come for your words." Now if we look on the Blue Letter Bible, that word chasten in Hebrew, it means ana, means to humble yourself or to weaken yourself. So this implies this, the first day you started to humble and weaken yourself. We know you weaken yourself through fasting because he didn't eat, so his flesh was weak. He humbled himself. So whenever he humbled himself, that's whenever God sent the angel to come to answer his prayer. So we see from that fasting accelerate things in a spiritual realm. So that's what I got, man. If y'all have any questions, please comment down below. As always, I love y'all, man. God bless.